Good morning, ladies. Good morning. Thank you all for joining us. I know I'm a bit late. I'm sorry for that. It's 8 minutes past time. Auma Lucy, thank you so much for joining on time. Gary Murungi, thank you so much for joining on time. Um, I'm sorry I joined a bit late. I was experiencing some technical issues, but I mean, better late than never. So I have my colleague in the chat box. Her name is Chidima. She's going to help with the moderation. So if you have any questions, you can just drop in the chat box. If you have, if you want any form of clarification on the content that I'll take you through, you can just, feel free to drop your comments on the chat box. My name is Beryl Okwach. I'm a facilitator with Impact Her and also do a lot of partnership. I'm a partnership lead and I'm based in Kenya. So maybe we can start with introductions. Let me know your name and where you're joining us from, and we'll kickstart our session. So if you're here already, just let me know in the chat box your name and where you're joining us from. Today's topic will be how to build your brand and sell online. First things first. So what are we going to cover today? What are the topics that you're going to cover today? So the first thing we're going to look at is how to establish your brand online. How do you place your brand online? How do you want people to find you online? Or how do you want to be viewed online? The next thing is how to develop your e-commerce offering. If you intend to have an e-commerce platform, how are you going to go about that? And the third thing you're going to cover is how to utilize social media to drive sales. As it is right now, we have, I think most businesses are going online. So how are we going to hop onto that trend to make sure this works for your business, right? But before we start, we have a boot camp going on for small business owners. You don't really have to to own a business. You probably have an idea in your head, but you don't know how to go about that. So you can join the boot camp, sign up for the Google Hustle Academy. There's a link there, g.o/Hustle Academy. So you can just click on the link. My colleague will drop the link in the chat box. Click on the link and register for the bootcamp. It's free, so you don't have to worry about any form of charges or anything. But the thing that you're going to take home mostly is how you're going to utilize and leverage social media and digital to grow your business. I hope you're all on the same page. Uh, like I mentioned, if you're here, just go into the chat box, give me your name and where you're joining us from, and then what are your expectations for this session? Let me know what you're thinking. Let's make this session very interactive because we're all learning from each other. I'd like to know your thoughts. I'd like to know your questions so we can get this moving. Now, how do you currently market your business? If you have a business, how are you currently marketing it? Is it by word of mouth? Are you using social media? Do you have a website? Do you have an e-commerce? Let me know how are you currently marketing your business? I'll be looking at the answers. I'll look at the answers and try and elaborate on any of them. So how are you currently marketing your business? If you have a business and you are using some other forms of marketing, for example, word of mouth or social media, let me know how you're doing it. How are you currently marketing your business? Auma Lucy, do you have any response for me in regards? Okay. How are you currently marketing your business? It's okay, we're going to cover this. I think by end of this session, you'll be able to know the different forms of marketing that you can use to market your business. The first thing you need to do is to establish your brand online. So this basically revolves around brand awareness. How do you want people to get to know you? How are you placing yourself online? How do you want to be seen online? All right. The next question I'm going to ask is the benefits that are brought by to businesses by going online. So if you're marketing your business online, if you're using any forms of online marketing, what are the kind of benefits that you're gaining from that? Or if you're not doing it yet, what do you think are the kind of benefits that come about by putting your business online? Or if you've looked at your neighbor's business or your friend's business and you see how it's going, what are the benefits that come about going online for businesses? Yes, so my colleague has just dropped the question in the chat box. What benefits are brought to businesses by going online? Any questions? Any response in regards? Do you have any response? Okay, I guess we probably are looking forward to learn more. So along the session, if you feel like dropping your comments or questions, kindly feel free. Let's make this as interactive as possible. I'd like to see your questions. I'd like to help you with responses to clarify on matters that you're not aware of. So we're going. I think the most important thing when you're trying to justify why you're making a decision, you need to come up with facts and numbers to back up the decision that you're making. So if you're looking at taking your business online, why do you need to take your business online? There are benefits you expect to get from that, but why? What is the reason why? What is backing up your decision? So from here, you can see that we have 1.79 billion people who have so far shopped online. That is as per last year. So look at this number. Look at this number, how it's huge. 1.79 billion people. So these are people who are potentially your customers, depending on the kind of target customers that you're looking at. And 97% of the population learn more about businesses online than everywhere else. As it is right now, so many people have access to digital and social media. So many people have access to mobile phones, and 97% of these people get to go online to learn about a business. It's like if I want to buy, assuming I want to buy a dress, nowadays it's very hard to do the walk-in kind of, like walking into stores. So I'll just go online. I'll probably go into Instagram, look at online shops, get what I want, buy from there. So most people get to learn about businesses online than anywhere else, and 95% of purchases will be through e-commerce by 2040. So this is the projection that we're looking at. As at now, probably the percentage is a bit low. We're probably working with between 80 to 85. But if you're looking at in the next 10 to 15 years, yes, what are the changes that are going to come about? So 95% of purchases will be through online by 2040. So by 2040, by now, if you start learning about placing your business online right now, by 2040, where will it be? Because at the end of the day, you're looking at projections, right? So how businesses use the internet? How do businesses use the internet? If you decide to go online, how is the internet going to help you? The first thing is going to help you to sell your products. Obviously, if you place your products online, then you're probably looking for customers online and you're looking for them to purchase your products. So one thing is to sell products. The other thing is to buy products, because you can have B2B interactions. These are business to business interactions. So if my business gets products from another business, I would be able to buy products from that other business through the internet. I'll find them online and buy from them. The next thing is to advertise. you're able to advertise your business. This can be through social media marketing, can be through search engine marketing. You can use WhatsApp, which basically falls under social media marketing. The other thing is to reach customers. We've talked about 1.79 billion people who, if we go to the previous slide shortly, if we are talking about 1.79 billion people who shopped online last year. So you're able to reach customers beyond your geographical coverage. You understand? So it's not just around, I mean, if you're in Jinja or you're in Kampala, it's not just within Kampala. You can reach customers as wide, I mean, as far as in Kenya, in South Africa, depending on the kind of market that you're looking at. The other thing, you get to research your competition. You get to know your competitors' behaviors. What are they doing? How is their what is their performance on social media? So by weighing this out, you'll able to tweak some things for yourself and your business and make things work for you. So we'll talk about building an online presence. If you're going online, that means you have to understand the kind of platforms that you want to take your business. Do you want to have a website? What do you think will work for you? Do you want to have a website? Are you just thinking of having social media pages? If it's a website, will you just do a display website or an e-commerce website? If you're selling products, that is, you'll probably need to have an e-commerce site so that people can purchase online. If you're service based, depending, you can choose to have a display website. So what works for you, that's for you to decide and to understand your business. So that's basically how to build an online presence. Understand the kind of platforms that you're going to use, website or social media, what will benefit your business. All right. Marketing, I'm the chat box, I'm reading your comments. Gary Murungi, marketing is convenient. Yes, marketing is convenient. And I know right now we are shifting from the traditional forms of marketing to the digital part. So it's very important to understand how to leverage digital and social for your business. So the kind of platforms, like I mentioned, if you want to build an online presence, there are different kind of platforms available to do that. I did mention you can have your website. Could be a display website, could be an e-commerce website. And then you need social media platforms. There are very, very many social media platforms. There's Facebook, there's Instagram, we have TikTok, we have LinkedIn, we have Twitter. So what works for you? As a business, I mean, if you're starting up, you can decide to use maybe two to three platforms. So maybe you can combine Facebook and Instagram, and if you have WhatsApp as well. So what works for you? I mean, it would be unnecessary to have, I mean, if you're starting up, to include all the platforms and not understand the uses and not understand how it's going to work for you. So you need to understand the rules of each platform and how it works for you and which platforms best suit your business. The other thing is an online directory. You can decide to place your business in an online directory. We're going to cover this along the session. The next thing is to have an e-commerce platform. So an e-commerce platform allows you to sell your product or your service online. So you place your products online, and your customers can be able to choose whichever product they want to purchase. If they want to purchase a service from you, they're able to access all that online. Can you imagine? It's not a matter of walking right now. It's a matter of just getting access to my phone, going into the internet, going into your platform, and I get to purchase whatever it is you're selling, right? When you talk about e-commerce, why are we supporting people? I mean, placing their businesses on e-commerce. Why are we supporting people placing their businesses on e-commerce? In Africa alone, and we're second to China. We have 400 million internet users. 400 million people have access to the internet in Africa, and that's second to China. Then 10% of retail sales so far in Africa have brought an estimated value, or will bring an estimated value of 75 million by 2025. Like we said, in a business, you have to always, you're looking at the current situation and the projection. So by 2025, we'll have an estimated value of 75 billion retail sales. Just imagine. And in 2017, if you're also looking at the past, because you have to do a comparison, at the past, we had 16.5 billion revenue generated from e-commerce. And this was just last year. That was 2017. We're how many years down the line now? 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 5 years down the line. This figure has gone up. So if it was 16.5 billion in 2017, this number has gone up. And this is something that you need to leverage for yourself and your business to be able to, expand the reach of customers that you're looking at and basically your target audience. What are the kind of e-commerce platforms? What are the kind of e-commerce platforms that you can use if you want to hop onto e-commerce? What are the kind of e-commerce platforms that you can use? There's Amazon. Amazon allows for individuals and businesses to sell and display products online. There's Amazon. We have Konga. Konga is based in Nigeria. It's the leading e-commerce platform in Nigeria. Then we have Jumia. Jumia is also in Kenya. I'm sure it's also in Uganda. So these are kind of the e-commerce platforms that you can leverage, that you can use to hop on and sell your products and services online. Then we have an online marketplace. What is an online marketplace? This is an online market that you can go onto and create an account and then start selling from there. So there's Kilimall. Kilimall is the largest online marketplace in Kenya, but it's not entirely just based in Kenya. So you can go to your web browser, try and search on Kilimall, look if you can hop onto it. Is it something that you can do? And then there's also Bidabuy. Bidabuy is based in South Africa. That's where they're based, but they're still, their reach is worldwide in Africa. So go onto your search engine, look for Bidabuy. Is this the platform that you want to use? And there's also Gigi. Gigi is in Nigeria, but also works in Africa. You can sell in Gigi. You can sell cars. You can buy cars online. Imagine where we've reached right now. You're able to just go online, choose a car from an online marketplace, look at the features, the specification, does it work for you, and just purchase it. Maybe just go for a road drive afterwards, but you've already chosen the kind of car you want online. We've gotten to that place right now. And then there's also the online business directories. If you've heard of Yellow Pages or you've heard of the Africa Business Pages, these are online business directories, which are basically websites that lists business based on categories. Could be by location, could be by the kind of products or services that they're offering. So they categorize this and then they list the businesses online. So it's an online listing of businesses. You'll have all your details there, your contact details, your website, if it's social media pages, what information about your business can be displayed on the online directories. So this helps people to be able to find you online, right? How do you get listed on an online business directory? So I've mentioned there's the Africa Business Pages and the Yellow Pages, but how do you get registered on this? First of all, you need to give out your business details. Give out your business details. What are you offering to your customers? What are you dealing with? You need to communicate this. You need to have this write up that can be placed on the online directory. The next thing is the contact details. If they're talking about your business, you need to have your contact details ready, because how else are your customers going to reach you? The next thing is in the business sector. Which sector are you in? Are you in the manufacturing sector? Are you in the hotel sector? You need to be placed in a sector, in an industry. So where are you falling? Where is your business falling? The next thing, your country or region. Your target customers need to know where you're based. And if you're based just in Kenya, are your operations, can your customers reach you from other places outside Kenya? Can a person in Uganda still get your products or your service? So you need to be able to communicate this and have this well placed so that your customers get to know and understand by one read or one perusal on your listing on the online directory, they're able to know if they're able to reach you or not, and how to get your business on social media. So this, well, what I'm talking about is the how to build your online presence. We've talked about online marketplace, we've talked about e-commerce, we've talked about business directories. So now we are on social media. How do you get onto social media? I did mention the kind of social media platforms. You can see the icons here. There's YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook. How do you get onto this? You click search for the platform that you want to get onto. If it's Facebook, you create an account on the social media platform. You create an account. When you create an account, there's you can set up for businesses. Mostly, you need to create a business page, not a personal profile. So you create a business page for your business. What is your business about? On the About Us section, talk about your business. What are you offering to your clients? Add pictures. Humans are very visual. Okay, humans are, like I mentioned, humans are very visual. So they like appealing pictures. If it's pictures, if it's videos, do this. If you have a logo, have it as your profile picture. So you can have your logo as your profile picture, and then you can have maybe a banner picture as the as your cover photo. The next thing is to create your username. Your username needs to be your business name so that people are able to find you easily online. Create your username, and the next thing, add your business details. Could be the operation hours. Um, what else could it be? The number that you want people to reach you with. You need to add all this online. So up to there, I'm going to pause for questions. Do we have any questions? Do we have any questions? I'm just going through the comment section. I'll be cherry picking questions that I can. The live talk. Hi, Kellen Owente. I'm from Uganda. I'm honored to be part of this session. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. I'm glad you're here. I hope you're finding this session very useful. Hi, Diana. Ijeoma Ugodu, what's the topic? Today we're talking about how to build your online presence, how to build your brand and sell online. So that's the topic for today, how to build your brand and sell online. It was answered there by my colleague. My colleague Sandra is in the chat box. She's going to answer to any questions that you have. So do we have any questions up to there? Thank you, Yvonne, for joining us. I hope you get to learn a lot. Do you have any questions? Fine. If we are on the right track, just give me an emoji. An emoji. Let me know if we're on the right track. You can give me a yes. You can give me a thumbs up. You can give me a smiley to let me know that I can go on. I'm waiting for your go ahead so that I can move on to the next topic. If you're on track, just give me a smiley, a yes, a thumbs up so we can move. All right. So we talked about an e-commerce, and we went through the different kinds of e-commerce platforms that you can use. We mentioned Jumia, we mentioned Amazon, we mentioned Jumia, Amazon, and Konga. So how do you develop an e-commerce offering? If you have an e-commerce for your business, you can also tell us in the chat section. We need to learn, we need to understand from each other. How is it working for you? Is it working for you? Is it not working for you? Let me know. Now, how to develop an e-commerce offering. The first thing you need to do is to pick a domain name. This is the name that your customers will search to get to you. This is the name that when people are going online and they make a search, it will bring up your result. So what is the name that you're going to have for your business? If I'm making candies and and my business is Beryl's Candies. Maybe I can have that as my domain name, right? So I need to pick a domain name that's easy for my users to find me online. Pick a domain name. Okay. The next thing you need to do is to secure the name. They're very different. There are different platforms that you can use to secure your domain name, because we don't want a replica with another business, and we want to have something that's verified. So there are different platforms that you can go on to secure a business name. The first thing is GoDaddy. The first thing is GoDaddy. You can go to GoDaddy, you can go to Domain King, or you can use Bluehost. There are other platforms that can offer you the same thing, but just these are just the examples. Just make sure you do a lot of research on what works for you or what doesn't work for you. So try and do a lot of research. You can go into the Google and make a search on the kind of platform that you can use. So these are just examples. There's GoDaddy, there's Domain King, and then there's Bluehost. You secure your name from there. Once you secure your name, you start building your own site. Once you secure your business name, you need to start building your site. So website builders, there are some of these like GoDaddy, there are these platforms that can offer you website builders. So not many of us know how to code, right? So other people get professional website builders to build websites for them, and then they pay them. If you have the capacity to do that, why not? You can. There are other free platforms that you can use to build your websites. So this is here. There's the Google site, and there's the Wix, and then there's the Wix. You can use these platforms to build your own website. It's not very complicated, so there are steps to it. Once you log on to Wix, then there'll be prompts on what to do next or how to go about it. So you can try this out if you don't have the capacity to pay for a professional website builder. The next thing, you need to utilize and customize templates. These website builders, like Wix, they have ready templates for you. So what kind of template works for you? You need to pick something that resonates with your business. So sometimes you're looking at the brand colors. What brand colors identify with your business? For example, in Pacta, we have the orange, we have the yellow, and we have the brown. So when we're building our website, we're looking at templates that resonate with our brand colors. So just try to pick something that resonates with your business so that it's not off, and something that's also appealing to the eye for your customers. Because at the end of the day, it's your customers' needs, it's your customers' wants, right? The other thing, after you've picked your domain name, you've secured your domain name, you've secured your name, you've started building your website, you've picked a template, but that's not all. You need to have content. You need to upload content onto your website. When you're talking about content, this is what you're offering. What are your products? What are your services? How is your business coming how is your business going to help the need of your target customer? You need to be able to communicate this with the kind of content that you have on your website. When you're creating your content, you also need to look at keywords. These are the words that people search online for. Mostly your target audience search for these words. Mostly they use those words to search for whatever it is that you're looking for. So try and include these keywords onto your website. It helps with your search engine optimization. It helps with helping your consumers find you easily online. It helps with your ranking on the search engine. When you're also uploading content, you can use images. Use a lot of images. You can also use videos, but make sure they're not so heavy on your site, because you don't want your site to buff or to be slow. So just be moderate in the kind of images that you're using. They should be high resolution images, and the videos should not be too long so that your site isn't too heavy. You understand? Okay. So after uploading your content, basically that's it. But you also need to have contact us page on your website. So how are people going to contact you? You've uploaded all the content, you've talked about what your business does, you've talked about your products, you've listed them, you've talked about your service. Um, how are people going to contact you? Do you have an email address? Do you have a phone number? How are people going to contact you? You can have an inquiry form onto your website so that when people come, if they have questions that are not answered by the content that's on the website, they can fill in the form. And also this inquiry form, we'll talk about this later in the session. The inquiry form helps you with collecting email addresses. So later on, if you're looking at doing maybe email marketing, this is something that you need to use, to have onto your website as a plugin. Now, what are the best practices when creating content for your website? I've perused through this when I talked about uploading content. You need to prioritize your audience. you you need to understand your audience needs. It's not about your business. It's not about you, because you're looking at conversion. So it's not just you, it's what your audience wants. So you need to prioritize their wants so that they get to know this business. If I interact with this business, if I purchase this and this from this business, it's going to satisfy my want. So prioritize your audience needs and wants. The next thing is to research for research your competitors. Everything online is about learning. We learn, we learn, we learn. Online is just about learning. So go to your competitors' pages. What are they doing right? What are they doing? What are the kind of websites that they have? Is this something that I can replicate for my business? But what better thing am I offering more than them? What is my unique selling point? That's the USP. What is my unique selling point? Even if I use probably the same kind of design website like my competitor, what is my unique selling point? I should be able to communicate this on my site. The other thing is the search engine optimization basics. Share content that resonates with your audience. Use keywords that your target audience are searching for. It helps with your ranking on the social engine. On the search engine. It helps with helping your target audiences get to you more. Now you can also go above and beyond with the e-commerce plugins. You can have, if you have discount codes, if you have promotion codes, make sure you include this as plugins. But first of all, I could be talking about the different kind of plugins, and we don't understand what a plugin is. So what is a plugin? If you know what a plugin is, you can also let me know in the chat section. What is a plugin? What is a plugin? So basically, a plugin is an additional feature that you can include. It's a software that you can input into your website to give it additional features. It's not a must, but it gives you leverage over just the basic website features. So there's the promotion and discount code. There's easy to check out. If it's just buy now, or there's an easy to check out. If you have a cart, do they have to hop onto the cart to, I mean, to buy your products? Then after buying the product, what is the checkout process? It needs to be easy for you need to make the transition easy for the audiences on your site. The next thing is the search engine optimization, and then the email marketing integration. Like I mentioned, if you have the inquiry form and then you have people filling in the form, you can. And if you're looking at doing email marketing for your business, you can integrate the email marketing apps with your website, and uh, it makes the process of email marketing easy for you. The next thing is the multiple payment options. If you're doing M-Pesa, if you have PayPal, what payment options do you have for your business? You can plug all this in to your website to make it easy for your clients. It also helps to reduce the bounce rate on your website. Okay. So where do you download plugins? We've talked about plugins. We've said there are softwares that you can use to add additional features onto your website. Where do you download these plugins? You can get them on WooCommerce or Easy Digital Downloads or WP e-commerce. Like I mentioned, these are just examples. You can go to the search engine, go into Google, look for other platforms that can give you plugins. So whatever really works for you. These three are not cast in stone. So just find out what works for you and use that. You also need to make sure your website is mobile friendly. If I'm looking at the website on my if I'm looking at the website on my laptop, I should be able to access it easily. It should be easy for me to go through over it on my mobile phone, because as it is, we mentioned, most we have the number of mobile users have increased vastly. We have 200 is it 200 billion people million people in Africa alone who have accessed mobile. So you need to make sure your website is mobile friendly. Look at the numbers. There's 2.41 billion people who shop online worldwide in 2021. And 50% of consumers shop more on mobile than in store. So we have 50% of this 2.41 who shop more on mobile. You understand? 2.41 are online and 50% shop on mobile. So 50 of 2.41, right? And in Kenya, Nigeria, and South Africa alone, the three countries, they have an accumulative of 21 million online shoppers. So look at the numbers, these numbers, look at it and look at your business. Are you going to try and leverage these numbers to work for you? That's the thing. You also need to check if your site is mobile friendly. So if I decide that my site is mobile responsive, it can also be tablet responsive, depending on, when you're creating your website, you need to make it desktop friendly, tablet friendly, and mobile friendly, because different people use different devices. So you also need to check if your site is mobile friendly. You can go to g.o/test my site. My colleague will drop the link in the chat box. Just click on the site or copy it and paste it on your browser. You can go over it after this session. So this helps in testing your site. If it's slow, if it's bulky, how fast is it? You'll get to know. And then after that, you can tweak it to work for you. I'll pause for questions here. Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? I'm looking at the chat section. Thank you, Sandra. Sandra has already pasted the link on your site, on the chat box. You can copy it on your browser and maybe check it out afterwards. Anue Yago Favor, glad to be part of this training. Glad to have you. Glad to have you. Thank you for joining us. Hoping you're all on track and hoping that you're liking the questions. You're liking the session. Do you have any questions? I'll move on. You can just drop the questions as I move on to my next slide. So we'll talk about how to utilize social media to drive sales. Previously, we talked about the website. Website, that's digital mostly. So now we are going to social. How can you use social media to benefit your business? The first thing you can do, you can generate more sales on social media. This means reaching out to more potential customers, and how to get them to convert. Because at the end of the day, it's conversion. So how can you get your customers to convert? So you can generate more sales on social media. You can also add value to your brand. This can be done through communication with your target customers. Are you getting feedback from your customers? What is the kind of customer service that you're offering to your customers? So this basically adds on to the brand value that you're offering to your target audience. The next thing, you can improve your marketing. If you're doing social media marketing or just social media management, depends. You can get to improve on your marketing. So it's not just by word of mouth. If that is, if you're not on social media, you can use the different forms of marketing to market your business online. The other thing is to build relationships and networks. You can expand your reach of networks. You can build relationships. If it's B2C relationships, if it's B2B relationships, what works for your business, you can get to build relationships and networks. And the other thing you can benefit from social media is to stay competitive. You're always learning. Because social media is changing every day. You're learning every day. You can see what your competitors are doing. You can hop onto trends to just keep abreast. I mean, to be abreast on the changes that are happening online. How do you set up a social media strategy? Because now you need to, on this last side, these are the benefits that come with social media, but you can't just hop onto social media and start posting. I mean, you don't have a strategy on how to go about it. You need to always have a strategy. So how do you come up with a social media strategy? You need to understand your audience. First thing, we're going to cover this in detail. There's the audience bit, there's the business goals bit. Audience bit is to get to people who really want to purchase from you. So you have narrowed down your you've narrowed down your efforts to people who actually want or are potentially uh, will potentially need your product or service. The other thing is the business goals. You need to understand, I'm getting onto social media. What are my goals? What are my objectives? Are they smart objectives? The other thing is the social media platforms. What social media platforms am I going to leverage? What is the tone of voice that I'm going to use? Am I going to be the comical bit, the calm? I mean, is my tone of voice going to be calm or comical or professional? What is my tone of voice? And the other thing, what is success to me? How do I define success for my business? After doing all this, after putting in all this effort, what is the kind of success that I'm looking at? Is it just sales? Do I need to get sales? Do I just want to be known? Do I just want a lot of interaction on my page? What does success look like for you? Now, like I mentioned, the first thing was audience. You need to understand who are your audiences. You can segregate your audience by, they could be by age, the demographic level, their profession, their salaries. You can do all these things with social media. You can understand your audience behavior on social media. It's very important to understand your audience behavior because you'll be able to understand the challenge that they're going through and where you can come in. Because at the end of the day, you need to be able to solve this challenge for them. So you need to understand who they are, what they are interested in, what influences them, what do they like. You can even get to know um, what kind of devices they're using, what time do they usually get online. You can get this all on social media. You see, when are they usually online? Which social media do they use? You can get to understand all this by using social media. And when you get to understand your audience, you'll be able to understand your strategy more, assuming your audience is people who are working. So mostly people who are working get online maybe in the morning when they're on their way to work, or around lunch hour, or in the evening. So what time will I be making my posts? Will I be making my posts at 10? I mean, most of them are very busy at 10. They don't hop online at maybe 10. So you can do your posts, you can tweak your posts, you can post them when you know your target audience will most likely be online. The next thing is to understand is your business goals. To give better customer service or to connect with your customers more, and to know uh, the kind of efforts or the kind of implementation strategies that you want to put in, you need to have business goals. They could be to grow awareness. I like talking about the customer journey funnel. There's the awareness, consideration. So the funnel is, placed like this, if you can see my hands. So at the top we have awareness. These are the people you get to reach. Then consideration are the kind of people who are actually considering interacting with your service. So that at the center, and at the bottom we have conversion. So what are your goals? Do you just want to reach people? Do you want to interact with people? Or do you want to convert at the end of the day? What are your business goals? When you understand your business goals, you'll be able to know the strategies to put in. The next thing is to pick a platform. Like I mentioned, different platforms have different rules, have different kind of people. The audience on LinkedIn is not the same as the audience on Facebook or Instagram. So you need to understand the social platforms that will work for your business. You understand? So start with one. You can start with one. You can have two. Most people like to integrate Facebook and Instagram, which I highly recommend. And you can also have WhatsApp, obviously. So look at the social platforms that will work for your business. Don't just go into all the platforms and then nothing works for you. I'd rather you focus your effort on maybe one or two platforms, but at the end of the day, they are converting for you. And also, what are your brand's social voice? What is the tone of voice that you're going to use online? Um, when you're looking at the brand tone of voice, we have the brand there's the brand guidelines. You need to have guidelines for your brand, so that even if you're bringing someone else to handle your social media, they get to understand this is how it goes. This is what is expected of me when I'm posting on social media. This is how I'm supposed to talk to my clients. Do you have a turnaround time for responses? All this needs to be on your I mean, you need to have a guideline for that. And the logo use also, which if you have different kinds of logos, most people have variations of their logo, could be one, two, or three. How are you using these logos for your business? What are the do's and don'ts? I mean, you also need to have an escalation strategy. So if something has gone wrong on social media, how are you going to handle that? Do you have an escalation strategy for your business? Yeah, all this you need to have them before you pick a platform. It helps in knowing how to run your social media pages. The other thing is, what does success look like for you? Did you just want to grow on followers? Did you want to get more conversions? Did you want more people to interact with you? What does success look like for you? So after coming up with your social media strategy, you're going to look at which social media platforms does your business use currently. If you have any social media platforms that you're using for your business, which platforms are you using for your business? Which platforms are you using for your business? Mary, nice question. How best do I promote the business and keep the big numbers or followers? Thank you. I can see my colleague has answered your questions really well. Good question. That's a really good question, Mary. I love the question. All right. So which social media platform does your business use? We are going to go over the different kinds of social media platforms so that you can understand how they can work for you. There's Twitter. Twitter mostly works for quick fire conversations and trending conversations. You can use it as mostly a PR tool. So you need to create a profile on Twitter. When you're creating a profile, you need to have a header image. Of course, ensure your business name is the same across all your channels. If I'm Beryl's Candy on Twitter, I should be Beryl's Candy on Facebook and on Instagram. So for quick fire conversation, mostly Twitter has these trending topics. How can you use these trending topics to get conversations going for your business? So always be on the lookout for trending topics and how you can use that to get people to interact with your pages. And also make sure that you use hashtags. Hashtags work really well on Twitter, and it helps uh, with your business getting noticed on Twitter. So try to use a lot of hashtags, retweet content that resonates with your business. Make sure you're very engaging. And if you have an important post that you need people to keep referring to, you can pin that on your page. Okay? The next thing is Facebook. Facebook helps customers find you and use what your business, it helps people get to know you and know what your business does. And the best thing about this, all these social media platforms, actually, you can link them with your website. So when people go to your Facebook, they're able to go to you. I mean, they can click on your website link, go back to your website. Or when people go to your website, you have plugged in your social media pages on your website as well. So try and link them all together. It makes the customer journey easy to get to find you, to get to understand what your business does. It makes all these things easier. With Facebook, you can also input your opening hours, your contact details. If you have a call to action, what do you want your clients to do when they come to your pages? Do you want them to buy your product now? Do you want them to call you? Do you want them to message you? Have a call to action and use a lot of recent research has showed that GIFs and videos really work well in terms of getting your clients to interact with your content. So try and use a lot of GIFs or videos as opposed to still images. You can also do carousels. Carousels work really well for content on Facebook and on Instagram as well. All right. Instagram is a very visual platform, very visual platform. So try and use images that are very high resolution images, appealing images with appealing colors that can attract people to your page, attract people to your post. Most people I see go really heavy on hashtags. They can have like almost 20 hashtags. Don't do that. Just be minimal on the simple is easy. Simple works. So go easy on the hashtags. And you can also follow a lot of influencers. You can follow influencers. When you follow influencers, you can also get to reach out to people who have the same interest. So people who follow these influencers and you go and follow them, you probably all you have the same interest. So you have potential people coming to follow your page. So try and follow influencers, brands, and people who are you're in the same area. At the end of the day, you also get to learn. All right. And LinkedIn is a very professional platform and it really works for B2B, that is business to business. So if you're looking at hopping onto LinkedIn, just get to understand that it works well for B2B businesses. So you can create a personal or a company page. On LinkedIn, you can have brand advocates, get people who can advocate for your business on their pages. And you can do a lot of thought leadership on LinkedIn. You share industry news, because like we mentioned, it's a professional site. So when you get to share industry news and people get to your page to learn, so they can you understand, you get more people following you because they know this page mostly talks about the new trends in, if the new software trends, and Impactor talks about, maybe Impactor deals with women. So if we have new women opportunities or things like that, if I follow Impactor, I should be able to get news on this. All right. So try to understand the different platforms and what can work for your business, what you can use to get your business going. So I'll pause for questions. Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? Must I register a business? Must I register a business before creating one? Ijeoma has asked, should she register a business before creating a website? No, you don't need to register your business first. You can just create your website first, and then you'll work on the others later on. I think the attendance form link should have been shared. Do you have the attendance form link? My colleague will share the attendance form link. Also, you can go onto social media and follow us on all our pages. That is Upskill, that is Digital for Africa, Digital Skills for Africa. Go to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, follow Digital Skills for Africa. You can also follow Impactor on our pages. That is Impactor on Facebook, Impactor on Instagram, and LinkedIn and Twitter. And before I finish, I'll just remind you all to also sign up for the Google Hustle Academy. The link was shared when the session started. That is g.o/hustle academy. Make sure you click on that to get to learn and understand more about digital and social. All right. So that's it. I'm done for the session. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. I appreciate your attendance. Make sure you fill in the attendance form kindly before the session ends. All right. Thank you so much. Bye. Have a good day.